is on the wing, and Terry Lamb in at 5'8". Those two back into their normal positions, different slightly from the team which played Cronulla on ABC television a fortnight ago. And in the forwards, Mark Sargent, I should say, comes into the side instead of the injured Peter Tunks. And Phil Gould, of course, is the coach. Eddie Muller still in there at hooker with Mark Bugden out injured. And here comes the Raiders. In fact, the big Viking made a great charge onto the field and went slipped over. I think it's the best way to describe it when he came out onto the field.
He's lost a shoe.
And he's lost his boot. He can't do anything about it. And there's the Canberra lineup, and gee, it looks a strong team too. Young Daley and Jackson there in the centres, and believe me, this young man, Laurie Daley, is an outstanding replacement for the injured Mal Meninga, and I think we're going to see a lot of him in Winfield Cup competition in the future. And the forward pack, a forward pack that has been going from strength to strength, with Glen Lazarus retaining his spot in first grade instead of course, Brian Batiste, who ran round in reserve grade today, and Tim Sheens is the coach, the man who coached Penrith for the last few years.
Players standing to attention for the national anthem. This was introduced last year by Cronulla. I believe that was seen to be down at Endeavour Oval, and now today at Belmore Oval. I don't know that it shouldn't be kept for test matches myself.
The thing is that these days, of course, they call it the Caltex Field too, don't they, down there? I wonder what goes through the players' minds. You've been in the dressing room for the last quarter of an hour since the reserve grade finished, all fired up to come out. You get out there and then to stand still for this.
It is hard. You want to get on with the game straight away. I know it's the bicentennial year and so on, but I really think the national anthem can be kept for big occasions.
And there we are, the man who's in the middle, Eddie Ward, who really has come down to Sydney this year from Brisbane for refereeing in the Sydney competition. And many people are very impressed with the way this man has been handling the games. Mal Meninga there, still on the sidelines, of course, after re-breaking that arm. He broke it originally in May last year against Manly, and then, tragically for him and Canberra, he broke it again in the Sevens tournament at the Parramatta Stadium early in February. Terry Lamb it is to kick off. There's the game underway. Belcher waits for it. And there's Belcher with it now. And after the way this man started the season, I think we can expect another big game from him. He just seems to do nothing wrong, Warren, does he? This Belcher, he does everything with consummate ease and all the time in the world.
Canterbury love to kick downfield early in the tackle count and get play right out of their territory, and that's part of their general play, but they'll be taking a risk if they do put it down Gary Belcher's throat throughout this game.
And there's Belcher, the first kick of the afternoon from Canberra, down over the quarter line. Campbell getting back for it. Nissen was the cross there in support. And a good run from Campbell. He pinched an extra few metres. Henjak up there doing the defence. Nissen a dummy half. And Nissen goes on his own. He's wrapped up by Backo in the end. Midway half and quarter line. Canberra's entered the field. Muller, it goes from Mortimer to Folkes. And Folkes is within 12 metres of the halfway line. Eddie Muller a dummy half. There's David Gillespie. You notice sporting headgear. I don't think I've ever seen him in headgear before.
Well, he has this fracture of the cheekbone and has decided to play it. It's only a crack, a minor crack, whereas Peter Tunks has the same injury but much worse and is off the field.
And here's Gary Belcher with the ease with which he beat the first man. 30 metres out from the Canberra line. Dummy half, Steve Walters. And taking it up, Matthew Corkery.
Having said it's only a crack in the cheekbone, it's still a pretty big effort by David Gillespie to be out there. Plenty of other players would be taking the time on the sidelines.
There's Glen Lazarus. Haven't seen much of him in first grade. O'Sullivan. A good run from Chris O'Sullivan.
Did you notice how beautifully lined out that Canberra backline was? It was deep and well spread.
Henjak's kick. Nissen, I don't think will stop it. He won't. That's a good kick, finding touch. Just 18 metres out from the Canterbury line.
Good settle piece of football by Canberra. Of course, they have the combination from last year's grand final team being almost intact here. And with that combination and ability in the side, they've started off the season well and look like going on with it.
I saw them against St George here a fortnight ago. At half-time, it was very close. In fact, it was 10-all, but in the second half, Canberra were just like a machine. It was unbelievable, and obviously they were the same relentless Raiders last Saturday night when they thrashed South Sydney. Just outside the quarter line. In fact, Folks has lost the ball, but the referees ruled against Coyne, saying that Coyne tried to wrest that ball away.
Obviously, the ball was pulled out after the referee had called tackle.
So first penalty goes to Canterbury. Canberra have got a big effort here this afternoon. They've only defeated Canterbury twice since they came into the competition back in 1982. So Canterbury, a team that they find great difficulty in beating.
Good strong run there from Sargent.
In Canterbury now, 10 metres inside Canberra's territory. Gillespie gets up and plays it. Muller sends it away from Langmack. He almost got it away to Lamb. Stands, gets the pass away. Now that's Currie. Currie's got speed to burn. Jackson comes at him. That's Campbell. Campbell and Corkery doing battle. Corkery, in the end, doing enough. O'Sullivan lent a bit of assistance. Steve Mortimer taking the ball up. Paul Dunn. Good run from Dunn. Only 17 metres out now from the Canberra line. Last tackle against Canterbury. Mortimer, blindside. Langmack's kick. It's into the end goal area. But look at Belcher back there. Can he get it back into the field of play? He's done a pretty good job. That's a super job to be able to get back into the field of play, considering the weight of Canterbury Guernseys that were down there.
Great work by Belcher to get it back into the field of play. But notice Canterbury attacking down the blind side on the last tackle. It's become a feature of their play this season.
So Canberra trying to get it out of their own zone. Ashley Gilbert. Good tackle from Gillespie, low and over the top. Terry Lamb. Walters. A pass, I think, was intended originally for Backo, but it was pretty well picked up by Henjak, and that's Daley, who's tackled in the end, and tackle number 5 back towards the quarter line. O'Sullivan, the kick over the halfway line. That's a good kick. Campbell getting back there, and Campbell grabs it. Nissen's up there with him supporting. Back to the halfway line, and a player knocked over there in the back play was Gilbert, and that's Farrar, and Farrar taken there. Gilbert came in and let him know that he was there. I think you'll find that Farrar might have been involved with Gilbert when Gilbert was knocked out of the play, chasing Campbell, who gathered the kick. Mortimer down the centre comes Canterbury. Dunn, good pass to Mortimer. Now Mortimer on his own, he's got support. Lamb, and Langmack's knocked it on, thinking of where the pass was going instead of grabbing it and keeping his eyes on the ball.
The ability of Steve Mortimer to quickly pick up where the gaps are and get the ball out there. They spilled it in the end, Langmack putting it on the deck. But quick hands between Mortimer and Lamb, getting it out to where the hole was. Interesting early in the game to see Canterbury making some good ground in the forwards. They're running onto the ball hard and picking up fairly easy metres in the middle.
Well, here's Langmack being called out, and Farrar's being called out as well. And I'd say that Farrar's being spoken to for when he decked.
That looks an awful lot like Tony Roach.
I think it is Tony Roach on the other side of the field there.
Hoping it doesn't rain.
After watching the tennis this morning, the ageless Jimmy Connors and his great victory over Machish. But this is Canberra taking the ball up against Canterbury. I'd say that Farrar was being spoken to for the incident involving Gilbert when he knocked Gilbert over, chasing the ball up. And it's Gilbert who's played that ball. Henjak, away it comes now toward Jackson. Now that's Daley. Taken in a heavy tackle there by Lamb, across the chest. I think it looked a lot worse than really what it was. It was a jolting tackle. Look at this. Now you'll see him come back on the inside, Daley. Now there's Lamb. He did seem to have the hand around the face, but I think most of the arm was around the ball and the body. A brilliant piece of play there from Terry Lamb. He's got it away to Farrar. Farrar's up over the halfway. Jackson's in pursuit. Jackson out after Farrar. Farrar over the quarter line. Jackson coming at him. Jackson pulls him down, but the pass comes to Mortimer, and Mortimer scores. Oh, what a try. That started from little Terry Lamb plucking that ball out of the air. Miraculous piece of football, firstly from Lamb. Look at this.
The reflexes of ball still. I believe that Farrar had this. Ferguson arrives from the far wing, and who's there? Stevie Mortimer. Magnificent piece of football from Canterbury.
Farrar will be very happy because the speed he showed there. Admittedly, he had the break from Guinness.
And here it is as Farrar down the touchline. Look at this, the way that he also sucked in Ferguson, and Steve Mortimer, who chased that ball all the way down after Lamb had plucked it out of the air. And there he is, his first try of the year. The little Steve Mortimer, Terry Lamb it is, who really started that movement, who's going to have the first shot at goal. 179 points he scored last year from 16 tries and 57 goals. And Bar, I wonder how he got that nickname. Terry Lamb from the quarter line, about 8 metres in. The chance to convert the Mortimer try. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. What a kick! 2 points to Canterbury. And after 8 minutes play, Canterbury Bankstown lead Canberra by 6 points to 0. But what a try, and what about the reflexes of Terry Lamb?
Terry Lamb whipped it out of the air like a basketball steal and then quickly getting the pass away. That was a tremendous battle down the sideline between Jackson and Farrar going all the way. And I'm surprised by the pace of Farrar to hold out Jackson for so long there, but right at the end, who was inside but Stevie Mortimer.
Canterbury have the ball, and that's Gillespie running it out. What a great try that was, though. You won't see many better than that this year. Canterbury running it back towards the halfway line. That ball's been knocked down at 6 to go, says the referee, and Canterbury on the charge again. Nissen. And he's down towards that quarter line. He had Currie in support. It's Campbell at dummy half. Line side. Campbell back to the quarter line. He can't get the pass away. Eddie Muller quickly moves into dummy half. Canterbury on the charge again. Has taken up as Sargent. Now there's Folkes. And Folkes is almost through. Canberra under siege at the moment. This Canterbury side is running hot as it comes away. Langmack's pass finds Gillespie. Farrar was tackled on suspicion as well there. Gillespie plays it. Muller puts the kick in and picking it out of the air then is O'Sullivan. And O'Sullivan will get up and play it just 11 metres out from his own line. Ferguson. Backo. Just got the feeling there just for a moment. Sullivan there being attended to by the Canberra trainer. Got the feeling there for a second, Warren, that Canberra were going to open up.
Well, Canterbury are the ones who are really taking advantage of every opportunity, and they're showing plenty of speed out wide for a side who some people say is slow in the backs.
And what a good kick this is. Magnificent kick from Gary Belcher.
It's a feature of Belcher's game that has improved consistently over the last couple of years, his ability to kick in general play. It wasn't one of his strongest points before. In fact, Gary Jack, who of course holds the test spot at the moment, and Belcher's right out after it. Gary Jack wasn't a strong kicker in general play when he first hit first grade, but both of them have really improved that aspect of their play.
Of course, the big aspect that Gary Belcher's improved this season has been his goal kick. Last year he was thrust into the role. This year, he's just gone from strength to strength, and I think he's kicked 16 goals already. As Terry Lamb runs it out from his own line. There's Dunn. He's got that pass away. Langmack into a bit of open space. Langmack looking for support. Can he get the pass away? There's no one close enough to him. He's still going. That's good football. Now that's Farrar. Farrar's got the pass away as they get back towards the halfway line. The ball's loose. Now it's Currie. Currie's got a lot of speed.
Call back.
Currie. But no, the referee's going to call it all back anyway.
He said the pass went forward. The wild pass, desperately trying to keep the movement going, but it travelled forward only by a couple of inches.
Now there it is. It was Folkes' pass, and the referee ruling that the pass went forward, and so the scrum will go down and Canberra will feed the ball into the scrum. But what a good game of open football we've seen here in the first 10 minutes, quarter of an hour of this match.
Tony Currie looking very sharp in the centres. Canterbury are throwing the ball around, they're getting the passes away, and Canberra are not making effective tackles.
So there's Corkery with the ball. They've just missed too many tackles, really, Canberra. They've missed 7 tackles already. A feature that Tim Sheens, no doubt, will be sending messages out to try and improve. Henjak. Lazarus takes it up. Steve Walters into dummy half. Henjak. Backo. Good defence from the Canterbury forwards. Dunn was up there with Sargent and also Langmack. Down on the Canterbury quarter line. Walters goes from dummy half. That's a good run from Steve Walters. Pinching about 8 or 9 metres. Last tackle against Canberra. They're right on the line here. O'Sullivan, the little grubber kick. It's come off the knees of one of the Canterbury players, and Canberra have got it back, but the referee...
He's ruled a turnover. He said that even though it touched a Canterbury player, he didn't actually play at the ball, so it's not 6 more tackles.
Good refereeing, that. The Sargent takes it up. They've been a bit stiff, Canberra, I suppose. They've tried 2 kicks within about 15 metres of the line. The first of them saw Lamb pluck it out of the air miraculously and set up what was the try. And that one, again, rebounding off a Canterbury leg, and Canberra unable to dive on the loose ball.
So far, the luck hasn't really run their way, but at the same time, there's a lot of football left in this game, and Canterbury playing pretty good football at the moment.
They're making some ground here, Canterbury. They're up to the halfway. That's Langmack. Away it comes Eddie Muller. Muller's found support. That's Folkes. Folkes has passed out wide. Sargent, good hands. Now they're up over the halfway. This is Nissen. Nissen down to the quarter line. Nissen, good tackles there from Belcher. He couldn't really get into a bit of space and set up the winger, Thorne. And it's the last tackle, but what great football again from Canterbury.
The speed of these outside backs of Canterbury. That time it was Nissen showing how fast he can go. But really, it all started on the far wing when Sandy Campbell got away. And again, he stepped through a tackle that simply was there to be made. He had a man in front of him. He stepped straight past him. They've got to start knocking him over, Canberra, or this is just going to turn into an avalanche.
So penalties now 1 apiece. And here's the reason for the penalty. Not allowing the player to get up and play the ball. Canberra with the ball just inside Canterbury's territory. Coyne. Open side it comes. O'Sullivan decides to go on his own, and he's gone straight through one. He got away from Mortimer. Good run from Chris O'Sullivan. From Canterbury. Walters showing the ball, not able to make anything out of it. 18 metres out. And what will Canberra do? 10 metres out, they all go high, but Campbell goes highest and plucks it out of the air, and Canterbury have got it 10 metres out from their own line.
Well done by Sandy Campbell. You can't really jump very high when you're standing still. Here goes Tony Currie again.
Currie again, and he's got it away. This is Thorne. Thorne, Ferguson comes at him and takes him across the touchline. Well, that was the youngster's first touch of the football this afternoon, and he was up against a wily old customer in John Ferguson, who used the sideline, and they always say that was the winger's best ally.
Johnny Ferguson, at the age of 33, doing a good job here against Robin Thorne, the former Redcliffe winger in Brisbane, and he chased hard. Just look at Ferguson go here. He scored 4 tries all up this season.
Canberra with the ball. That's Daley. Daley. He's got that pass away now. Here's danger for Canterbury. Jackson. He's almost run past Corkery. Well, he did in the end. It wasn't really Corkery's fault. It's a bit like a chook with the head cut off there for a moment, Jackson. Coyne on the quarter line. Walters. Henjak. Backo. Good run from Backo. Look at the way he just went straight through Eddie Muller's tackle away to Gilbert, and Gilbert will score. Try to Canberra, next to the posts. Good football. Sam Backo it was. He went straight down the centre. He got through Muller's tackle and then managed to slip the pass when the defence was holding on to him, but they couldn't put the big man to ground. And Ashley Gilbert, just trailing him through, accepted the pass, and that was all that was required, and this should make the scores level.
Good football here by the big prop forward, stepping through tackles. He comes to Mortimer, he goes high. Lamb's hanging on around the waist, and at the last moment he gets the arms free, and Gilbert was waiting to do the damage. Great football by the two big fellas there for Canberra. But Backo, the strength and the timing of that pass. There's another good forward on the paddock there in the prop forward role, Paul Dunn. But Sam Backo showing that he can do the work of Dunn and the likes of Peter Tunks. Look at the power. First he bumps one over the top. Mortimer went high to try and cut the pass off, and he almost did it. But Backo just got it away as he was falling, and that was excellent work by the big prop forward.
So here's Gary Belcher, his first kick of the afternoon. It's successful, and so Canberra and Canterbury Bankstown, after 18 minutes, are 6 apiece. Canterbury 6, Canberra 6. Ashley Gilbert, the try scorer, one of the originals in that Canberra side, has played representative football.
Of course, it doesn't matter how good the work by Sam Backo is, he has to have the man backing up, and it was Ashley Gilbert in the right place, right alongside his shoulder.
What if Sam Backo keeps playing football like that? He might well be playing against the Englishman later this year. Timmy Sheen's there, biting the fingernails, the Canberra coach this year. Seems funny seeing him in anything but Panthers gear, doesn't it?
He was at Penrith quite a long time. Both he and Phil Gould, of course, have a big task in front of them. Phil Gould has problems at both ends. He has taken over from Warren Ryan. There's a knock-on from Corkery, is it?
Yes.
Knock-on from Corkery, and that's a bad mistake. From the kick-off, it was at his feet, and that puts the pressure right on them, with Canterbury having the feed to the scrum, only 10 metres out. Just took his eye off the ball at the last moment, looked up to see where he was going to run.
So Canterbury now with a chance. They're right down in the attacking area, and that's Mortimer. He got it away there to Langmack, and Folks in the end was backing up. And he's got the ball only about 7 or 8 metres out. Dunn decides to charge the line. He's only 6 metres away. Muller in a dummy half. Lamb misses Sargent. It comes to Currie. Currie running out wide. He pops the pass up. It goes to Farrar. Farrar with strength, but can't get his pass away. Lamb, Muller. Muller tackled there. Good defence by Lazarus and also Jackson. 8 metres out. It's Folks, the dummy half, blindside. The pass that went to nobody. Thorne picked it up in the end. And can he stay in the field of play? No.
It's the second time he's gone over the sideline with tackles up his sleeve, so that's not good football by Robin Thorne.
Well, I think that time, to be fair, Warren, he was
caught with a bouncing ball.
And he was off balance, wasn't he?
The pass coming out loosely on the blind side.
There's Belcher. Actually, talking about Phil Gould and Tim Sheens, of course, both of them played at Penrith, and probably, I think from memory, probably even played together up there.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that, but what I was going to say a moment ago is they both have pressure on them, because you've got Tim Sheens taking over from Don Ferner and Wayne Bennett. It's a hard act to follow, particularly when they've made the grand final. You've got Phil Gould taking over from Warren Ryan, and that's an equally hard act to follow. And, of course, the question mark over who will be coach of Canterbury next year, because Chris Anderson comes back from England, Peter Moore's son-in-law, and you never know. Phil Gould will want to have a good season, but at the moment he's doing a good job with Canterbury.
Can't do any more than win 3 out of 3, and that's what they've done so far. And Nissen has been allowed to get away with that. The referee saying he knocked it back as he runs it back towards the halfway line. Campbell. Right on the halfway line. 21 minutes gone in the first half. Canterbury 6, Canberra 6. And that's as close to halfway as you can get. Terry Lamb. Sargent made the meal of that one.
The brakes have gone on the Bulldogs for the moment. Sargent putting it down that time, and Thorne going over the touchline a little while ago. That's just halted their momentum, because they were right on a roll. Here's Sargent, that was right into the belly. Should have taken it.
It's the 5th Canterbury Bankstown handling error. Interesting, Canterbury. They've started well in nearly all their matches this year, but they've fallen off. And this is the sort of team they can't afford to fall off against Canberra, because they'll make you really pay, as they already have with that good try. That's Belcher with the ball at the moment. He's got it back to Henjak. The little man back inside Canterbury's territory. Coyne, that's Dunn. Bit of assistance there from Sargent and Langmack. Now Backo going on the fringe of the ruck, but that time right round his bootlaces, Eddie Muller made sure that his progress was checked. Henjak. Here's Belcher again. He's got that away to Daley. Daley into space. Henjak now. Henjak up over the quarter line. He's got Gilbert in support. Gilbert swivels. Gilbert for the line. He's got it away. Ferguson is going to be held up only about 4 or 5 metres out. What great football again from Canberra. Walters blindside Gilbert. Gilbert is wrapped up and he's managed to slip the pass. Henjak, basketball over the top. That's Belcher on the inside. Daley, and Daley's in. Good try. Laurie Daley has scored the try. And this Canberra Raiders side is now starting to run hot, leading by 10 points to 6. And the skills that we saw there, absolutely champagne rugby league.
Well, the pass comes out from Ashley Gilbert, or first of all he tried to get it away, but Mortimer came from his blind side and smothered the pass. But finally it comes over the top from Henjak. Belcher there, turns it back inside, and Daley spearing through with plenty of pace. But if you remember back a couple of moments ago was the run from Daley on the tackle previously, which really got that movement close to the line, and he showed a beautiful sidestep on that occasion for a big fella. But here he is, showing the pace, and no chance there for the fullback Glen Nissen to stop him, straight over the top of him.
He's only 18, this young fella. Now here's Henjak. Now what's this pass? The basketball one over the top. Belcher grabs it and going to the outside, but look at the way he's perfectly balanced and still managed to throw that pass almost off the wrong leg, and Daley did the rest. His 3rd try of the season. He's only 18, this young man. He's been playing first-grade football since he was 16. He started with Junee, the Diesels, down in Group 9. The young man who has a lot of ability. Belcher to try and convert the try, but it's out to the left of the uprights. And so the score after 24 minutes play is Canberra 10, Canterbury Bankstown 6.
There was some good football in the lead-up to that try. I mentioned the break by Daley. Admittedly, Tony Currie was down getting treatment, so they'd left a hole in the centres, and Canberra went right through it with Daley and Jackson. Then Ferguson took it onto the line, tried to keep it alive. Finally, good work by Henjak to slip the pass over the top. So all the backs combined in a beautiful bit of football, and this is entertaining stuff out here. Great football by both teams.
So Lamb brings it back. Just when it looked as if Canberra were going to crack, Canterbury now have cracked twice. Lamb the restart. That time there's no knock on from the kick-off. So Canberra running it out now from their own line. That's Corkery. Midway, half and quarter line, inside Canberra's territory. Penalty against Paul Dunn. Dunny not happy with it, but wasn't much the referee could do there.
The referee's consistent. He's telling him to get off the tackle player quickly. And that makes for a free-flowing game.
Penalties going Canberra's way at the moment, 2-1. It has been a free-flowing game. We've had 8 scrums and 3 penalties so far. Which isn't bad. What's that, 11 stoppages in about 26 minutes of football. So Canberra now trying through the back line again, and that's Belcher. So they've got some combination out there.
And they're so deep. They're really giving themselves room to get the ball out there and to move it.
Everyone seems to know what's going on. There's cut-out passes. There's people running to gaps. Walters. Most importantly of all, Warren, they seem to be enjoying their football.
They're doing that.
There's Ferguson. Played it English style and got away with it. Jackson. The pass comes to Corkery. Corkery versus Campbell, and across there Currie as well. And he's wrapped up just outside the quarter line. Last tackle against the Raiders. Jackson hoists it high. It's coming down only about 4 or 5 metres out. Look at them. There's green jerseys there galore. It's loose. A game of soccer, and Canterbury come up with it. They're going to actually get the penalty. Obviously, the referee must have said to Gilbert and Backo that Farrar had been held.
So look at the ball go loose here. Ivan Henjak decides to have a kick at it. I really think he could have fallen on that because it may well have come off Thorne as he went up for it. So the play goes on. Let's just see what the penalty was for. A bit hard to tell.
He did rule that that they'd actually carried the player into the in-goal area after he called held.
Tackled, yes.
So there's the errors. Canterbury have made 19 as opposed to Canberra's 10.
Some indecision from Robin Thorne on the wing. He didn't go in confidently and make a definite movement to get underneath that kick from Jackson, and that led to the ball being spilled. There weren't many others around. And as I say, Henjak mustn't have believed it came off one of his fellow players, otherwise he surely would have fallen on it with 6 more tackles to go.
And the reason for that error count, basically missed tackles. Canterbury have missed 14, Canberra have missed 9.
And initially in the game, it was Canberra missing the tackles. Now Canterbury have gone past them in that area.
And there's Thorne again. Thorne decides to kick for touch, and he's found it. Well, that'll do his confidence the world of good. And there it is. Gets away from Gilbert, and then off his left boot, kicks for touch. Is he normally left-footed?
I'm not too sure. We saw John Ferguson in front of him decided he wasn't going to be able to break the tackle, so might as well pick up some yardage late in the tackle count.
Well, they've got the ball here too, Canberra, just inside their territory, and that's Jackson. Crosses the halfway line. They'll be well pleased with their first half effort at the moment. That pass comes away to Gilbert. Gilbert's got it away. It went to O'Sullivan to Backo. Backo's got it away to Daley. Quick hands, and Ferguson's gone without it. Langmack scoops it up, loose on the ground. Thorne finished up with it, but the referee's obviously going to put the scrum down for the knock-on both ways.
Well, both teams just squandering possession a little, but after the pace of the game, I'm sure there's so much enthusiasm out there, you're going to see a few errors.
Terry Lamb, wrapped up there by his opposite number, Chris O'Sullivan. Farrar. Lamb again, quickly, Mortimer, got it away, it's gone from Gillespie away to Langmack, now back on the inside, that's Folkes. Folkes is wrapped up 34 metres away from the Canberra line. Dunn gets it away, now Folkes down the centre, he's got it back to Gillespie, on it goes now to Langmack, the forwards combining well, the ball's gone loose, Ferguson's dived on it. Langmack perhaps trying to be a little bit too adventurous with that last pass.
A little bit too cute from Langmack. You could see Thorne coming back on the inside of him, tried to slip the pass away, and the Canberra defender coming from behind him.
Anyway, a mistake by Canberra means that Canterbury get another chance, and that's Langmack who's got the ball and decides to go on his own. Just got to settle it down a fraction here, I think, Canterbury. They're trying to do it all on one tackle. Mortimer, Currie, Campbell. The work move with Currie doesn't come off, and Jackson quickly between he and O'Sullivan. They try and get round the defence, but Jackson is wrapped up.
Canterbury just rushing things a little. They need to take a couple of big forwards up the middle and just get that pattern of play working, which worked so well for them early in the game, where the forwards made ground and then they spun it wide. But at the moment, they're taking play out wide, spilling the ball, and they don't really have the numbers out wide when they're getting the ball there.
Lazarus just inside Canterbury's territory. Backo going down the centre. Backo, another big, strong run from the big fellow. And that's the sort of thing the selectors would like to see as well.
Turns the defence around and gets the line right out of order.
Jackson up to the quarter line. Last tackle against Canberra. Belcher, the little grubber kick coming through as Daley. Thorne gets there first though. Penalty against Daley. Referee saying he was in front of the kicker.
It was a shallow kick, but he came through in front of the little stab kick and didn't remain 5 metres away from.
Have a look at the replay. Receiver. He was only just in front of the kicker.
The referee was right on the spot though. Referee Eddie Ward has been getting plenty of praise for his performances in his first year in the Sydney competition down from Queensland.
It's Canterbury run the ball out. Lamb, Farrar. Lamb's gone without it. Loose on the ground. I think Gilbert's got it. He has, and Canberra are going to play it just outside their quarter line. Lazarus, Henjak, away it comes to Backo. Now that's Belcher, quickly away to Daley. Daley into open spaces. Good run from the youngster, and Henjak can't pick up that loose ball.
The pass was a little low, but great work from Daley coming back in. He likes stepping off that left foot, and he curved back in and found the support in the middle of the field from Henjak. The pass was just a little too low, and that could have been danger time for Canterbury.
And that'll be against Canberra. That was hands in the scrum. I think it might have been either Glen Lazarus who's there or Steve Walters, the hooker. You get the hand was definitely there. and it looked as if they were going to win one against the head. They might not have even needed that little bit of five-fingered help.
Well, usually when you're in when the other team's feeding, you might as well try something because you're not going to come up with it. But hands in the scrum, if the hooker got his foot to it first, he'd be disappointed. Steve Walters.
More disappointed if it was he who put the hand on the ball. "11 metres inside Canterbury's territory as it comes away. Lamb floats the pass out. Now quickly the move between Farrar and Currie doesn't pay off, and Gilbert falls on the loose ball and comes up with possession for Canberra."
Well, the pass wasn't on then. Farrar had a player all over the top of him, but he tried to keep it going, and it was the first tackle. Now that's the problem. Canterbury have really let the whole momentum go out of their game by mistakes in the last 10-15 minutes. They started off looking magnificent.
Blindside. Gilbert's now lost the ball. Who's going to dive on it? Canberra do. Scrum will go down. Play just becoming a little bit sloppy, considering how fast the pace was early on. That's fairly understandable. Gilbert there, who's had a wow of a game so far.
Canterbury have dropped the ball 10 times, Canberra 6 times.
Even though it's a coolish day, it's very humid because of all the rain we've had. And those players would be really starting to feel the pinch of fraction. Penalty against Canberra up inside the 5. The Bulldog fans here in the Stewart stand.
Bulldog fans have been asking for that penalty. They feel that Canberra are creeping up. I can't say that I necessarily agree with them, but some of the crowd are in a better position than we are, depending on which end of the field the play's at.
And there's the penalties. Canterbury 5, Canberra 2. It's been very much an error-free game for the last 10 minutes or so. Now the flick pass from Langmack is picked up there by Farrar as he gets it back to halfway. I get the feeling they're trying to do things a little bit too fancifully here, the Canterbury side.
There's a good straight run from Steve Folkes, just taking it up and settling the attack.
Dunn down the centre, got the pass back to Gillespie. Gillespie almost down to the quarter line. Oh, he couldn't get it away to Terry Lamb. Quickly it comes away. Mortimer, back it goes from Muller, the switch of the attack. That's Langmack. Langmack thinking about the kick. It was really almost pedestrian out there.
Last tackle.
Terry Lamb. This will be a kick, or will it? No. Currie, quick hands to Campbell. The ball's gone loose. Muller's picked it up. The referee says 6 to go. Nissen. And he's got within about 15 metres of that Canberra line. Canterbury right on the attack. They're down 10-6 as Farrar goes from dummy half. And he's got within about 4 metres of the line. Canberra leading Canterbury 10 points to 6. We've got about 6 minutes to go until half-time. Can Canterbury draw level? Langmack, the long pass out wide. Corkery intercepts it. He's knocked it on. Gillespie's dived on it. And it's 6 to go, says referee Eddie Ward. They're 10 metres out. Dunn from dummy half. He got it away now towards the centre in Currie. And Currie's tackled only about 5 or 6 metres out from the Canberra line. Right on the touchline, Campbell, Mortimer. It goes to Sargent. Sargent decides to charge the line, and he's got within a metre. Muller again a dummy half. Mortimer. The pass comes to Farrar. Quick hands, it comes to Terry Lamb. On it goes to Nissen, and Nissen's knocked it on. The referee will put the scrum down.
Terry Lamb has crucified that movement, and he knows that he had time to get a clear pass away, and he held on a little bit too long. Here he is. He just held it up that fraction too long, and the pass went behind Nissen. Terry Lamb knows it. He threw his hands up and grabbed the back of his head. He's murdered a try. 2-man overlap.
In fact, I get the feeling too that perhaps that ball might have even flicked Ferguson's hand.
Quite possibly.
And that might have been what caused it to go as far behind Nissen as it did. Good football that from Ferguson though.
For a moment, Lamb may have thought about throwing the dummy and trying to go past Ferguson himself, but that fraction of an error, just the fraction of a moment, made the pass a touch too late.
Canberra now with the ball, just outside their quarter line. Look at this long passing. Just all-out attack from Canberra, isn't it? They've really got a settled pattern, and everyone seems to know what's going on all the time. O'Sullivan's kick's a beauty. What a good kick that is. Thorne could do nothing about that. He was turned around. The bounce was never he was never in a position to be able to be confident of catching that. and in the end all he could do was stand there helplessly and watch it bounce across the touchline.
Good kick from O'Sullivan. It was like an elusive butterfly. Thorne was grabbing for it and didn't quite have a big enough net.
I like that.
Thank you very much. I might make a poet one day.
I wouldn't go that far. Lamb. Now what can Canterbury do? Got about 4 minutes left in the first half. It mightn't even be that long as Mortimer, good strong run, gets it back towards the halfway line. 3 minutes to go till half-time. Gillespie. I don't think he'd be overly appreciative of the extra bit of defence that went in then. They've lost the ball here, Canterbury. Canterbury have dived on the loose ball, which means the scrum will go down. Muller in the end diving on it. Sargent knocking that on.
If we go back to the try that was missed by Canterbury a few moments ago, Canberra were under a lot of pressure because we had 3 series of 6 more tackles, and they just kept repeating and repeating, so they did pretty well to hold out there, the Raiders.
There's the scrums at the moment. Canberra 7-6, now it'll make it 8-6 with that scrum being won by them. You noticed just before that scrum went down that Gilbert was called out by the referee, no doubt for the extra attention that went in on the tackle on Gillespie. And there's Backo. Geez, had a strong first half, hasn't he?
Very strong in the middle of the ground.
12 metres inside Canterbury's territory as it comes away to Jackson. Jackson stands, but he's beautifully wrapped up in the end. Langmack is stuck to him like glue. From dummy half, Henjak pinches another 6 or 7 metres. Last tackle against Canberra. It's Walters at dummy half. It comes away to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan, a long-range shot at field goal that's gone away to the left, or has it? No, it's there! Point to Canberra. Chris O'Sullivan puts the field goal between the posts. A minute left in the first half, and Canberra are leading 11 points to 6.
Good tactics from O'Sullivan with just 1 moment to go, 1 minute to go. They were too far out to really launch an attack. That was a pretty long distance kick. He was right in front of the posts and didn't make any mistake. They were a long way out to launch an attack hoping for a try, so he decided 1 point. That skips them away to a 5-point break, and who knows, later in this game, 1 try, 4 points. They've got a 5-point gap, may be handy.
It was interesting that when I left the boot, I was certain that it had just gone to the left of the upright.
It was going to fade away.
The train rumbles past in the background. What Coyne's being tacked.
What breeze there is favouring Canberra in this half, though it's not a great deal of it.
There's probably a southerly here as the prevailing breeze anyway. Canberra is taking the ball back towards the halfway. The only seconds left in the first half as Lazarus will get up and play it. Walters, Henjak. Henjak, look at him go. That's Corkery. Now Corkery's put the kick in. Now, was he flattened after he kicked the ball or not? It's still loose.
Eddie Ward said play on. No,
Eddie Ward has given the penalty.
But it's not for Winger being knocked over.
No, and it's because that Mortimer has been ruled by the referee to be in front of Currie when he picked the ball up. In other words, he's saying that he was in an offside position when he picked the ball up. And what an important penalty this is, because as you hear the sirens going in the background, Belcher will get a chance to have a shot at penalty goal from 26 metres out and about 12 metres in from the eastern touchline, and if successful would make it 13-6, a 7-point margin, and how important that could finish up being in the wash-up in about 45-50 minutes from now.
This could be a real bonus 2 points after the half-time siren. The wind is right behind Belcher, so he's just got to put it up in the air, aim it at the black dot, and it should push it over. But the kick from Corkery, keeping the play alive on the far side. He was knocked over, but the mistake made by Canterbury as the chasers came through and put pressure on the men getting back to try and recover the situation. It was
Lance who was up there applying the pressure. And here's Belcher, the chance to make it 7 points the margin. It's high in the air. It looks good, but it's gone across the face of the goal. And so the players go in at half-time with Canberra leading by 11 points to 6. They've scored 2 tries with Laurie, Daley and Ashley Gilbert scoring the tries. And Belcher kicking 1 goal from 3 attempts and the field goal to O'Sullivan. While for Canterbury, they've scored 1 try. And of course they've also kicked 1 goal, the conversion there from Terry Lamb. And Newcastle at Brookvale. That'll be an interesting game after Newcastle knocked them off in the Challenge Cup. Penrith take on Parramatta at Penrith Park. Balmain play West at Leichhardt, and down at the Caltex Field, Cronulla are at home to Eastern Suburbs.
Suburbs versus Cronulla. What an important match that is for East. So some people are ready to write them off already. I wouldn't go that far, but if they lose the first 4 games of the season, they are going to be calling the riot act over at Eastern Suburbs.
No changes to the sides at half-time, and I suppose the most interesting thing will be what Phil Gould actually said to the Canterbury side.
I'll be very surprised if he told them to suddenly close up shop. I'm sure he'll tell them to keep throwing the ball around, but it'd be interesting to see what specifically he would tell them to try and cut down those errors, which really did start to turn things towards the Raiders later in that second half. When I was down on the sideline, I noticed that wind is picking up a little more too, so it's going to favour Canterbury, blowing down towards the corner here, on the other side from the scoreboard.
So there's the restart for the second half. Canberra leading Canterbury Bankstown by 11 points to 6. And Canterbury running it back through Glen Nissen back towards the quarter line. 11-6, the Raiders on top. The winner remains undefeated in the Winfield Cup. Of course, Brisbane play North Sydney at North Sydney Oval tomorrow.
I'll be calling that game on radio for our Queensland listeners tomorrow, along with Johnny Rebo. Another great convert. Roy Masters took him from the forwards to the wing, and he went on to play for Australia. Here's Gary Belcher now, running the ball out for the Raiders. That's Johnny Ferguson. He's still going, Ferguson. Look at this. It's almost like playing draft, isn't it? He made about 5 metres, but beat about 10 men. He goes this way and that way and sidesteps them all.
And while you're calling that game on radio tomorrow, Sydney and New South Wales radio fans on ABC can hear the match between Parramatta and Penrith from Penrith Park.
You can bet that Parramatta will be a much better side than last week.
Canberra with the ball, running it back towards the quarter line. That's Backo. He's had a huge first half. Actually spoke to Peter Tunks at half-time. Of course, he's out of the game with that minor cheekbone injury. And he was saying that not only did Backo have a big first half, but he was actually pointing out that he thought that Sam might even get one of the State of Origin berths for Queensland, the way he's been playing.
Well, he may well do it. Of course, there's a lot of games to be played before the selectors have to worry about that, but there's some good props already in the position. Here's Farrar coming in late, too late for the referees' liking, on Daley, who was already on the ground.
He let the swinging arm go, and I think that's what the penalty's for. Here's Backo, charging the line again. He really has had a strong game.
Up the middle, there goes Big Sam. Samson, they call him, down Canberra way.
There's Tim Sheens. And his message to the Canberra team at half-time was just basically keep it simple. Tighten up the defence.
The thing I like about Sam Backo is he really does take the defence on. He charges at them, and on his day, Sam Backo breaks the line better than anybody else. The difference between him and Paul Dunn is Paul Dunn hits the line, but then quickly tries to slip the pass away, having pulled in a couple of defenders, but he doesn't break it the way Sam Backo does. Equally effective in their own way, both players.
And Sheens also emphasised in the dressing room at half-time that he thought it was extremely important to post the first points of the second half. And Nissen's lost that, and this might be their opportunity. Here go the Raiders. Gilbert for the line. Gilbert will score, and he's in for his second try of the day. Ashley Gilbert has scored the try. The Canterbury mistake has allowed the Raiders to almost take control of this game. The former boy from Crookwell has scored the second try of the afternoon, and isn't he a great try poacher? Hard luck there for Glen Nissen. Henjak on hand, and there's Gilbert. And there was no way that Thorne was going to prevent the big man from scoring.
It's all very well to say that a mistake led to the try, but at the same time, the chasers. Now look at Henjak. He had to come from well behind. He chases right through. Nissen didn't quite get there, made a meal of it. Henjak scoops it up. Gilbert has a quick look. He sees Lance alongside him, but decides he can make the line and didn't take any risk with the pass. I'm sure he thought about passing it, but decided he could make it to the line by himself. Didn't take a risk. Straight through Nissen's arms. He just didn't quite get to it. Nevertheless, should have taken it, obviously. And they picked up the scraps to post a vital 6-pointer. 2 tries to Gilbert.
Well, 2 tries today. He scored 4 in all this season, and he was the man that hoisted that kick. Here's Belcher, about to have the shot at goal. Vital kick, successful, and so the Canberra Raiders have scored the converted try in the opening 4 minutes of the second half, and have skipped away now to lead by 17 points to 6. And Canterbury have a lot of work to do now to get back into this game. They have to score 2 converted tries, and the way that Canberra have been playing, that's not going to be an easy task.
Well, we've seen this game swing from one side to the other throughout, and I'm sure Canterbury are far from out of this game, but they do have to start to play it down the end of Canberra, play it territorially down there and start to apply some pressure, which they haven't been doing since they started making mistakes midway through the first half.
And we talked about the effect of that breeze and what Canterbury might do with it. Of course, that might have been one of the reasons why Nissen found that ball difficult to get to, because it held up a bit in the breeze.
May have just swung away from him a little, though really he should have been in position. It was put up. He must have been half expecting the bomb, and really should have been across in time to position himself better.
Henjak kicking for touch. Nissen's there this time.
I remember coming into the last match we had here between Cronulla and Canterbury, there were some questions over Nissen taking bombs against the Gold Coast, and he spilled a couple, but against Cronulla he made no mistake and looked totally competent in taking the high ball.
Touch judges in. Backo and Lazarus being called out, both of them in fact. This will be a penalty going to Canterbury, one would think. Phil Gould at half-time said that Canterbury have got to follow up on the yardage runs. I presume that means meterage, does it? To capitalise on the half breaks, to plug the gaps up the centre, and to quote, lock it up a lot more. Well, there's Lazarus affecting the tackle. And he's lying all over the player. Nissen. And something must have happened there. Might have just happened on the other side of the incident, or the tackle player, because obviously the touch judge saw something. Canterbury, 20 metres out from the Canberra line. They're desperate at the moment. They need to convert a try to get back into the game. Langmack. The pass comes to Gillespie. He's got it away. Mortimer quickly got it away now to Dunn. Dunn decides to come back on the inside. One-hander away to Lamb. Lamb couldn't get the pass away. Sargent was there and he's outside. Across the open side this time. It's Mortimer running into the open space. He's got it away to Currie. Currie for the corner. Currie will just about get there. He's there. Try. Good football from Tony Currie. He spied the opening and he said, I'm going to score in the corner, and he did just that. That was a good try.
Total determination from Currie. When he took that ball, I'm sure no one would have backed him in to score the try. He set sail for the line and showed the pace I was talking about in the first half. This man can run, Currie, both off the mark and over a distance. And he speared through that gap to make it against the odds. Mortimer was who sparked the attack first of all, because Canterbury were looking tentative. They were going nowhere for a couple of tackles. He spins it out to Currie. Currie sees the little hole and then sets sail for the corner, almost Dale Shearer-like in the way he scored a try out of nothing there, underneath the attempted tackle of Belcher. And a good try, and that is a vital try for Canterbury. They needed that to hit back. Look at Mortimer. It's always scheming across, pulls the tackle in and made it 2-on-1, and the defence couldn't stop Tony Currie.
And it was the hooker who really had to do the defensive work in the end. Now here you see Currie. Now you watch him. He throws the dummy, and there's Walters coming across. Corkery stays on his man, and Walters and Belcher can't prevent the try. His first try of the season, Tony Currie. He was the leading try scorer for his Brisbane club, Brisbane Wests, a couple of years ago, and now he scored one for Canterbury this afternoon. Terry Lamb.
Important kick for Lamb to put this over, to bridge this 7-point gap.
Moves in. It struck pretty well. It looks pretty good. Just missed. But what a super kick it was. He had to allow a lot for the breeze, and the breeze brought it around a little bit too much, but off the boot it was a good kick. Canberra leading by 7 points, 17 points to 10.
I remember all those practice sessions at Lidcombe Oval where Terry Lamb would kick and kick and kick and always wanted someone else to have a kick against him.
Did you stay back and help him?
He'd always want to bet a schooner or a vodka and orange or whatever it was that he could put the kicks over. Of course, he wasn't doing the kicking for the first grade team, but that went on for a couple of seasons and he finally got the nod. And now look at him, he's a regular kicker and going very close with that last one.
Gillespie knocking that on. and not happy. Canberra now. Belcher, Ferguson, almost to the quarter line. Dean Lance, wrapped up by Dunn and Gillespie, 13 metres in from touch. Down on that quarter line, Walters, Backo. Henjak, O'Sullivan, good defence. Was Currie round his legs. Daley decides to go on his own. Farrar comes at him and he wrestles him to the ground, and a few other Bulldogs come in there to help. He's obviously a strong young man as well, this young Laurie Daley. Last tackle against Canberra. O'Sullivan, the kick coming down. It's only about 10 metres out from the line. They all go high. O'Sullivan's plucked it out of the air, but the referee has said it was propelled forward by a Canberra player's hand, and therefore a scrum will go down. Otherwise, O'Sullivan would have scored a try that really would have locked the game up.
Well, Canberra have been hoisting these bombs all day long, and they've had some success. They scored the last try from a bomb, and they're continuing with it. Why not? At that time, the ball travelling forward.
Good football from Mortimer. Campbell's almost around his man. He is. Now Sandy Campbell. He slipped the pass to Nissen. Nissen's got a lot of speed.
Here comes Ferguson
coming across. Nissen. Ferguson out after him. The pass to Terry Lamb. And Lamb will score a super try. Oh, great football. What about the run from Ferguson? Just as Nissen looked as if he was about to score. And Terry Lamb, he set up the first Canterbury try with some magnificent reflexes earlier on, and that time magnificent handling ability. And look at this, Mortimer slips the pass to Campbell, and there you'll see Nissen. Now Nissen's put into the clear and he looks as if he's home. Watch Ferguson.
Ferguson coming from the far side, showing tremendous pace and ability to read the play. Comes across to make the tackle, but Lamb inside, and Terry Lamb pulling it down from the clouds. Under pressure, he had to take it. Here goes Sandy Campbell, comes back inside, and Nissen perfectly positioned. This all came from a scrum. Blindside worked by Mortimer. Terry Lamb looking around, he's watching Ferguson coming across at Nissen. Here comes Fergo, the pass inside, and Lamb on the fingertips pulls it down. And another try to Canterbury, and they're back in this with a vengeance.
What a great try that was. Magnificent football. Terry Lamb scoring his second try of the year, and involved in 2 tries today that really required not only remarkable reflexes but outstanding ability to handle the football. So here he is with the chance to bring it back to just 1 point the margin. 17-14 the score in favour of the Canberra Raiders. 12 minutes into the second half, and we've already had 3 tries in the second half. Terry Lamb to try and convert his own try. There's the kick, and he's got it. So 2 more points to Canterbury Bankstown. With about 28 minutes to go in the match, Canberra are leading Canterbury 17 points to 16.
Getting back to the beginning of that try, I was thinking, watching Steve Mortimer, when Canterbury were looking a little tentative early in this half, he was the one who suddenly started to spark them a little. Mortimer was making those darting runs away from the area around the ruck. At that time, he went away from the blind side of the scrum, and it was 2 against 2 until he joined in, and he flicked the pass out, having drawn the defence into Campbell, and that sent Campbell away. So, I mean, they did all the hard work charging down, but it was the ability of Steve Mortimer to read the play that started the whole movement.
Here's Sargent. Well, it certainly lifted the spirits of the Canterbury fans here in the grandstand. And what a game of football we've got on our hands now as Mortimer gets it out wide. Land the little grubber kick. Corkery getting back, but the ball will beat the ball across the touchline. Corkery, you could almost read his mind there. Will I or won't I? Will I or won't I? It was an incredible sort of antics. Have a look at this. The ball tantalisingly close to the touchline, but just won't cross it. And Corkery not sure whether to touch it or not.
Cool work by Corkery. It must have been very tempting to make a movement at it because Campbell was right at his shoulder.
Now here's Canberra back towards the halfway line through Jackson. Dunn and Lamb are wrapping him up.
Field goal by O'Sullivan just before half-time takes on significance with only 1 point in the match.
Steve Walters going from dummy half. These two teams are undefeated so far this year, and they've turned on some good football today. O'Sullivan, that pass has gone forward.
Just a quick check on the statistics of the match as we watch that mistake, the forward pass. But the tackles have all been made by the front rowers. Dunn and Sargent for Canterbury, Lazarus and Backo for Canberra. And the drop ball's significant too. 17 drop balls by Canterbury against only 7 by Canberra. And I think they're telling statistics.
Two lock forwards have also been involved in the tackling. Langmack and Lance are up there with the top tacklers as well. Currie, who really did start this Canterbury revival when he scored that try. Muller, Mortimer, Sargent. Sargent's gone straight through. Good run from Sargent, looking for someone in support. There's no one there, and this will be a penalty. It's against Gilbert for pushing the player back into the ground.
Steve Mortimer has no hesitation in saying we'll take the kick for goal.
And this will be the opportunity for Terry Lamb to put Canterbury in front. So there it is, 33 metres out, right in front of the uprights. The breeze at his back. Couldn't get it much easier, really. And here it is again. And there it is, Ashley Gilbert over the top. And the referee saying that...
You can't really blame Ashley Gilbert for coming in again unless the referee called held, which he must have done, because Gilbert certainly had to come in and finish off the tackle. But if the referee had called that the tackle had been made, he had to give the penalty.
Here's Terry Lamb. Can he make it 3 from 4 and put the Bulldogs in front? Be some sort of comeback. They were down 17-6. 3 minutes into the second half. Terry Lamb to put the Bulldogs in front. There it is. It looks good, but he's just missed it.
Terry Lamb should have spent more time at Lidcombe Oval practising those kicks.
And not so many schooners and vodka and oranges.
He doesn't drink schooners, only vodka.
17-16 the score in favour of Canberra. 23 minutes left in the match. Belcher restarts up over the halfway line. Nissen takes it. Now Nissen are running it back towards the halfway line. Just inside Canberra's territory. Mortimer, Gillespie.
The crowd roar because they thought they saw a punch go in from Canberra, but it may have been simply trying to get a hand on the ball.
Kick from Currie, looks good off the boot. It's a beautiful kick.
That was a great kick. Driving play down into the Canberra territory, and in this sort of tense situation in a game, that's sort of a kick which puts you back on your heels. Currie, third man out from the ruck, took plenty of time, sized up the situation, realised that the winger on the far side, John Ferguson, was committed to move up in defence. He had all the space in the world to aim for, and he drove it deep.
Henjak tackle just outside the quarter line. Ferguson a dummy half, he'll go for a run. And as always, takes a lot of pulling back. Deceptively strong. Could have almost been a penalty at 6 to go though. Canberra run it back towards the halfway line. Lazarus takes it up. Wrestled to the ground by Sargent. 5 metres short of the halfway. Blindside, Henjak, away it comes. Belcher, he tried the quick hands and Ferguson knocks it on, and Canterbury have come up in possession. The idea was there to quickly get that ball to Ferguson. They had the overlap.
Well, Jackson was steaming through just outside Belcher, and that was where he was trying to get the pass, but didn't quite have the time, and Jackson overran it.
Wasn't a bad tackle, that of Walters on Currie, I might add. Good football from Dunn. The pass has come away to Currie again. Quickly, Gillespie away to Langmack. Langmack charging down to the quarter line, back to Currie. Now Currie, can he make something out of this? He's on the quarter line. He's got the pass to Mortimer, who's knocked it on. Mortimer's got it back, and the scrum will go down.
Well, it was there for Stevie Mortimer to grab hold of, but he wasn't quite expecting it and not quite set, spilled it. Fingertips were grabbing. They're not always as easy as they look, even though that looked like a sitter, but Mortimer not quite expecting it.
Knowing the way Steve Mortimer's brain works, he's probably thinking about where it was going, where the play should be going. Belcher, just outside the quarter line. Ferguson. He looked as if he was puffed, didn't John? What a player he's been.
Sam Backo still going as strong as ever. Well, the referee's been totally consistent. He is not allowing you to lay on the tackle player. I said earlier in that game that it allows a free-flowing match, and he is cracking right down on it, and it's a good thing for the game as long as he's fair on both sides. And on the scale of things, that was a fair penalty as it's gone through the rest of the match.
There's Tim Sheens talking to Craig Bellamy there, and that looks to be Dean Lonrigan also warming up on the sideline. There's Dean Lonrigan. As Canberra take the ball back towards the halfway through Gary Coyne. Or Lonergan, I think it is.
The New Zealander, Dean Lonergan. Backo slips it away. O'Sullivan making the bust. Away he goes, Chris O'Sullivan.
O'Sullivan again, look at him go. The will-o'-the-wisp. He's been fairly quiet, but my word, when he spies an opening, he explodes. Blindside as Jackson. They're 18 metres out now, Canberra. Ferguson on his own. He can't get away from Thorne this time. That was good work from Thorne. He stuck to him. Last tackle. Will O'Sullivan try another field goal? No, the bomb instead. It's coming down in the in-goal area. All Nissen has to do is take it on the full. There's going to be a penalty. There's a shoulder charge. O'Sullivan was shoulder charged.
They're looking for the quick tap here.
After he put the kick in, and the referee, Eddie Waters, penalised Canterbury. Paul Langmack is going to be spoken to. And so they'll just take the kick at goal, you'd think.
If Langmack was the offender, he's really done his side a disservice, because I'm pretty sure that ball was taken on the full in the in-goal area, and it would have been a 22-metre tap. So Langmack knocking the kicker after the kick was clearly away, according to referee Eddie Ward. Now here's a good chance for Canberra to add 2 points to kick away to a 3-point lead. 19 minutes remaining on the clock. Well, Canberra have had some luck from putting bombs up in this match. Every time they put it in the air, apart from the short kick which led to the first try when Terry Lamb whipped it out of the air, first try of the match. But apart from that, Canberra have had plenty of success with the boot.
So here's Gary Belcher. As you can see, 12 metres out. He's right in front of the posts. He can throw it over from there, but he'll probably kick it over instead. Here he is. There it is. And he's hit the uprights. I've joned him. Now Canberra, can they convert something out of that? Walters, as it comes away. O'Sullivan looking for a gap. He's only 8 metres out from that Canterbury line. Walters in a dummy half. Open side it comes now. Backo comes down the centre. He didn't really come onto that ball. He was flat-footed when he got it. Walters again. Gilbert decides to charge for the line, looking for his third try of the afternoon. Walters goes on his own. The grubber kick. Getting there was O'Sullivan, but who got there first? The referee said that Nissen got there first to ground the ball, and so it's no try. Line drop out. Touch and go. Let's have a look at this one again. Good football, great understanding. Now, who's got there first, Nissen or O'Sullivan?
The referee was right on the spot. Nissen flung out the hand as O'Sullivan came. Let's see it from head on. Well, still touch and go. O'Sullivan claiming the try, but Nissen in good position, did very well to read the little kick through. And it was good work by Canberra to put it on too, because they weren't set for anything else. They hadn't become settled after the kick rebounded off the post. So the little kick through, the perfect choice.
How quickly does a commentator get foot and mouth disease, eh? You would have sworn he would have kicked that the same as Terry Lamb would have kicked the one earlier.
Well, you could see the players were just as stunned, the sudden jolt of action as they saw it rebound off the upright. The quickest of all was Gary Belcher, who managed to regain it.
There's Jackson wrapped up there by Farrar. Hasn't this been a great duel in the centres this afternoon? Here's Walters, Lance, Dean Lance down to the quarter line. He's got O'Sullivan in support. O'Sullivan around one. O'Sullivan, he's got it away to Gilbert, and Gilbert can't get across for the hat-trick. He's only about 2 metres out. Canberra on the attack again. The charge. Who's got the ball? I think it's gone loose, or has it? I think Canterbury have got it. Terry Lamb came up with it. Well, they tried to confuse the Canterbury defence, so this will be a penalty. Incorrect marking.
Not standing directly in front of the man playing the ball.
There was the incident before when the players came charging through, all the forwards together, that Canberra group of forwards. Lazarus it was who tried to take the ball up. Canterbury were just as confused as the Canberra players, I think, in the end, and Terry Lamb dived on it and got possession for the Canterbury side.
It was a fairly confusing play, the ball, but the referee decided that the marker hadn't stood directly in front.
Another penalty against Canberra, not allowing the player to get up and play the ball. I think it was Backo again who's been the offender.
Canberra are making some mistakes here. That's 2 penalties. They've also, well, not blown a try, but let one slip away. Gilbert was on his way to the line for the 3rd time.
Looked as if O'Sullivan could have just about scored the last time.
Well, I thought initially O'Sullivan was going to give the ball to Gilbert, who was probably clearer the first time, but O'Sullivan went a bit further himself, then gave it to Gilbert, and he couldn't quite make it to the line.
So here's Canterbury now, trailing by the odd point. 17 points to 16. The train goes past. Currie gets the ball back to Farrar. 12 metres inside Canberra's territory. Sargent decides to go on his own.
Will Canterbury think about going for a field goal to even it up, or go straight for the try?
32 metres out, 22 metres out. Canterbury, the last tackle against them. Sargent in a dummy half. It comes now from Mortimer. Terry Lamb. Lamb puts the grubber kick in. Here come the runners. Campbell's coming through quickly. And he bombed it! You wouldn't believe that. He did everything right. But that made the easiest thing of all was to grab the football. Magnificent piece of football from Terry Lamb. Well supported by Campbell.
There was a perfect kick from Terry Lamb. Campbell outpaced Corkery into the corner. And as the hands come in, now look, Campbell swooping past Corkery, who had to turn around. It was in his chest and spills out and over the dead ball line, so it comes back to the 22. Well, Sandy Campbell will have nightmares. He did everything right, except get it down. Of course, it is a lot harder than it looks, but it was there for the taking. There's been a few tries bombed in this match, and Canterbury have bombed 2 of them.
So there's Eddie Muller coming off the field for Canterbury Bankstown. Just trying to work out who did go on. I think James Donnelly might have gone on for Canterbury. That's in there, number 26.
We saw Ashley Gilbert also leaving the field for Canberra.
And there was Donnelly there. As the kick comes in now from Canberra.
Sandy Campbell manages to pull that in.
Now can Campbell make something out of that? He had plenty of open space in front of him, but he could have got through the tackle. Mortimer. Now that's Dean Lonergan. He's on for Ashley Gilbert. And there's James Donnelly. Well, that's 2 tries they've virtually bombed today, Canterbury.
Chris O'Sullivan hobbling on the far side as well for Canberra.
He is hobbling too, and of course he missed the opening couple of matches of the season, or the opening match of the season, the last few trials with an ankle injury. There's Terry Lamb. Back it goes now to Nissen. Midway, half and quarter line, inside Canberra's territory. There's Chris O'Sullivan, limping in the back play. Now the kick looks to be a good one, but too deep. Just too deep, but it's a penalty. It's a penalty. It's against Canberra. In the back play, Langmack is still down on his knees as he struggles to his feet. And obviously after he put the kick in, he has been tampered with. And the penalty has gone Canterbury's way. There was some confusion out there as whether Lamb was going to have the shot at goal or not. Surely that's the only option. It is what he's going to do. But, I think some of the players thought that they might take the quick tap. So when you're 1 point behind, I always say surely you've got to have to go at the 2 points.
You'd have to take the 2 points, though. It is a hard kick. Terry Lamb missed one from this exact same position not too long ago. He's kicking across the wind. Didn't miss it by very far. Let's see if he can put this one over.
You've still got to give yourself the opportunity, though, don't you, Warren? I mean, there's 11 minutes left in the match.
Langmack was knocked over after he put the kick through. We've seen Canberra make some silly mistakes.
So Terry Lamb, well, this kick put the Bulldogs in front. 22 metres out, 7 metres in. He struck it pretty well, and he's missed it again just on the outside of that left upright.
Currie just hasn't read the wind well enough kicking from this far side. The wind is pushing the ball across outside the left-hand upright.
He's striking the ball beautifully, but the wind is just playing havoc with these kicks. Canberra still leading by the points, 17 points to 16, 11 minutes left in the match. And of course Canterbury have bombed 2 tries this afternoon, one in the closing minutes of the first half, and we saw that one only just a few moments ago when Sandy Campbell did everything right but hold on to the football. That's Thorne, well wrapped up there by Lazarus.
The error count against Canterbury, they've made far more errors, a lot of missed tackles, 27, though Canberra have also missed 20. Drop ball, 12 to Canberra's 5. And bad passes, 7 against Canterbury to 3 against Canberra. So it's that handling area that's letting Canterbury down. They've still managed to get very close to scoring 2 tries that they've missed.
Last tackle against Canterbury. Mortimer the blind side, the chip for touch, and he finds it. Beautiful kick. Keeping the pressure on. In fact, since Canberra scored that try, in the opening moments of the second half, for the most part, it's been Canterbury playing the football in between the quarter line and the halfway line in Canberra's territory.
They're dominating the territory.
But alas for their supporters, they're still trailing on the scoreboard. Canberra playing the ball on their own quarter line. They're leading by 17 points to 16. Bellamy, that was, who played the ball, and this is Lonergan. And here's Canberra taking the ball back towards the halfway line. The pass wasn't on. Lonergan with it. Lonergan doesn't decide to go on with it. He just takes the tackle. Midway, half and quarter line, inside Canberra's territory. O'Sullivan's pass away to Belcher. And Belcher's wrapped up. O'Sullivan kicking for touch and finding it.
It speared right across in front of Sandy Campbell. He couldn't afford to take a risk on putting a hand on it. Would have given away the feed. And down in back play is Paul Dunn, is it? Paul Dunn down with cramp. It was a good kick. Gained a good 15 metres safely. Canterbury have the feed and desperately want to win this scrum with about 8 minutes remaining in the game.
And Eddie Ward almost finished up on the scrum, and this is going to be a penalty against Canterbury. It's against the front row, and that might have been because Dunn wasn't there. Inexperienced perhaps in that front row. We've got 2 replacements already on there for Canberra with Dean Lonergan, Craig Bellamy on. They've replaced the 2 second rowers, Gary Coyne and Ashley Gilbert. You may have noticed in that scrum that Lance was packing in the second row with Lonergan, and Bellamy was playing lock forward, and that's Lonergan taking the ball up now. The penalties favouring Canterbury 10-7. That vital one there going Canberra's way, and Lazarus has gone straight through. He's only a couple of metres out. A try here for Canberra would definitely seal their victory. Taking it up now is Backo. That looked to be forward, and Backo's been held up only a metre and a half out from the line. The crowd thought it was forward. As Backo now gets up and plays it. Walters, it comes across. Henjak away now to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan killed. He almost got away from Lamb, but he couldn't get away from Mortimer. 12 metres out. O'Sullivan looks to have a dirty gash on the top of his head. It's just opened up. That looks terrible. I think he's copped the boot, an accidental boot. And you notice there was a lot of concern from the Canterbury players straight away. You'll notice that on his forehead, I'm certain that he's got a boot across his forehead. And he's opened up a nasty cut there. It mightn't be nasty, it looks nasty. But there's a lot of blood around, and I'd say he's copped a stray boot by the looks of things.
It sounds harsh, but I'm just thinking of the ruling that this player, that Canberra should be forced to play the ball. That another player should come in and play that ball for an injured man.
Now there's O'Sullivan going into the tackle. Now there he is with Terry Lamb. And I can't really see it there, but anyway, here we've got a chance now for Canberra, and Corkery's knocked it on, and Campbell's got it for Canterbury.
O'Sullivan has blood streaming from the face, but he's staying on the field.
Canterbury with it just outside their quarter line. It's a nasty cut he's got as Canterbury run the ball up. He looks like a Souths player, doesn't he? I don't mean that in any derogatory term. I just mean that they play in red and green.
I was wondering what you meant.
Canterbury taking the ball back towards the halfway line, but they've got to get down the other end of the football field. Mortimer's kick in behind Corkery. It's coming across field now. Corkery coming back for the ball, and Corkery gets there first. Up there is Campbell. Good run from Corkery, and good defence too from Canterbury, especially Gillespie and Campbell. And that must have stung Corkery a bit because he took his time getting up. Jackson, he's wrapped up just outside the quarter line. The minutes ticking away here. Canberra hanging on at the moment. 6 minutes to go. They're leading 17-16. Ferguson with the ball. And he's wrapped up just outside the quarter line as well. Back towards the centre of the field. He comes away now from Bellamy. He's got Lonergan coming down the centre. And look at this for good defence. The pass has gone to Belcher though. Belcher back in amongst the forwards. Belcher's found a gap. Belcher looking for support. Can he get his pass away? He can't.
Good work by Belcher not to throw the pass that time. There was danger if he did. They've made a break. They need to control possession. They're leading the game.
Now Jackson's going to put the kick in. It was good football from Currie to put the pressure on. And that ball bouncing towards the touchline. Campbell getting back. Nissen's there in support. 2 tacklers up there. He goes on his own, Campbell, and he almost made a mistake of that.
And a great chase there from Dean Lance and Matthew Corkery to put the pressure on the fullback. That was a vital bit of football there. A good long kick by Jackson, and then the chasers there to pin them down. Canterbury inside their own quarter now, desperately trying to get play down the other end of the field.
Canterbury with the ball. That's Mortimer. 5 minutes to go in the game, and Terry Lamb up the centre he goes. He's got Gillespie in support. He's got Terry Lamb still in support. Lamb for the line. Can Lamb score? He's got support in Nissen. Lamb on his own, and Lamb's in. Lamb has scored the try, but the referee says no, he's bounced it. The referee says he's lost the ball in the in-goal area. It's no try.
Well, that's 3 tries that Canterbury have bombed today. But great football by Terry Lamb. Let's give the credit where it's due. Lamb initially looking to the outside back at the beginning of the movement, looking like he'd kick, but he went back inside. The bust was made, and here goes Lamb, chased by Laurie. Daley. He tries the palm off, tries to hold him back in the field of play. Lamb goes over, and did he? No, he lost it. He did lose it. He tried to get it down on top of Daley's leg, and then when he tried to move it onto the ground, didn't get it down. So good refereeing. Canberra, of course, was screaming no try, but how unlucky are Canterbury? They did everything you could possibly do to score a try there, and only minutes remaining in the match.
There's Dean Lance getting some assistance there for cramp. I'm just wondering whether Terry Lamb could have even passed that ball to Nissen that time. And there's the replacement who's come on now for O'Sullivan. That was Steve Jackson.
Well, Terry Lamb did make it over the line, so that's the point. He got there but couldn't get the ball down.
And here's Currie. Desperation time now for Canterbury. Thorne tackle from behind. Good tackling there from Ferguson. Canterbury now, 4 minutes left. Can they do something here in the remaining few minutes? Now the ball comes down the centre again. They're back towards the quarter line. Paul Dunn to get up and play it. This has been a great back-to-the-wall fight back by Canterbury. The blast comes away from Farrar. He's got it away now to Folkes. Folkes is in a bit of an opening, but he's tackled there by Lance. The gap was there, but he couldn't get through it. The ball is knocked down. Who's going to fall on it? Nissen's got it. In fact, Canberra have come up with it, and the referee says play on. There's 3 minutes left in the match. Canberra leading by 1 point, 17 points to 16. Canberra, a lot of tired men out there.
I was going to say that Canberra look very tired, and this will be a test of the experience they gained in last year's semi-finals. They've got possession. They must play it out for 6 tackles and wear this clock down.
And Kevin Walters is on the field as well. That's him who's playing the ball now. It comes away for Corkery. Corkery through one, and he's wrapped up. Defence that time, Sargent and Dunn. Canberra through Bellamy. Henjak, he's got it away to Jackson. Jackson up to the halfway line. Jackson back on the inside. He's away from Mortimer. He's got Henjak in support. Henjak down to the quarter line. Back it goes to Lazarus. He slipped over. He's got it away back to Walters. Away it goes to Ferguson, and he's dropped down and he's lost the ball as well. But great Canberra football. The scrum will go down 10 metres out from Canterbury's line. And here it is again. That was Walters away. It went to Ferguson. He couldn't get his pass away as he was tackled. and the scrum will go down, and we've got 2 minutes or less than 2 minutes left in the match as Jason Alchin comes on, and Terry Lamb is coming off, I think. And so this might be the last throw of the dice as far as Canterbury are concerned this afternoon. They've got about 90 seconds to get the ball, 70 metres, as now they take it down the centre. Canterbury desperate at the moment. They were down 17-6 at one stage in the second half. They got back to 17-16. They've had 3 kicks at goal, which have just shaved the upright. They have bombed 3 tries this afternoon. In fact, over the line twice and lost the ball. And Canberra leading 17-16 as the ball comes across to Jason Alchin. He's up to the halfway. Alchin's across the halfway. Here's a chance. Alchin's out of 1. Alchin's down to the quarter line. Back on the inside. This will be a great try. A try to Canterbury. What a try. 45 seconds left in the match. And Robin Thorne has scored the try after Jason Alchin has made the break. And the Bulldogs have got out of jail and won. They'll hardly have time to take the conversion. Look at this. Jason Alchin came on with 2 minutes to go. Phil Gould, you're a genius. As Jason Alchin stands up the defence, he got away from Walters. In the background, Ferguson lost his footing. The pass comes to Thorne, and the former Brisbane player said, "See you later," and scores, and the Bulldogs have won it. Look at this again, and watch the beautiful football from Jason Alchin as he stands up. Little Kevin Walters, he got through the gap, he spied it. That's where the try was made, a good fend off, and Ferguson losing his balance and footing as he tried to get away from Walters. The well-timed pass. Thorne was always going to score. Ferguson, because he'd lost his balance earlier, couldn't quite get to him, and Canterbury have got this game sewn up now. Robin Thorne has scored the try in the last 45 seconds of the match, and they're now leading by 20 points to 17. Canberra are shattered. I don't blame them, but you can't take anything away from Canterbury. Robin Thorne, he hails from Roma in Queensland. He had 3 seasons with Redcliffe. Tonight he's going to be the toast of Belmore. And Andrew Farrar is going to have the shot at goal, but it'll hardly make any difference because the siren will go soon after the kick. There's the kick from Farrar. It's high, it's straight, it's there! He's kicked the goal, converted the try. It's all over. 22 points to 17. Full time. What an incredible game of football. Won by Canterbury Bankstown.